Welcome to a thrilling race where strategy, speed, and precision define the competition.
The little control box, but the race director just waiting for the field to come around. He can't see them yet. They'll come up to turn 16. Turn sharply to the left, it's 90 degrees. They'll have to stay within the white lines. We lost a car here yesterday, one of the cars on pole position. Stefano Trebellini pulled off onto the grass and retired. Transmission failure, but an early flick of the lights, I'd suggest there. Good thing in this short cars, the back of the field are still coming round the corner, but Stefano Lemere's got the start done very well. First four well done, running in grid order through the first corner into turn 2, bunching up a bit, but neat and tidy today, so they've learned as they've gone. A couple further back deciding short is good. Let's see what the race officials think about that. Neat and tidy. There's always someone running wide at turn 3 and actually mitigating circumstances, Jack. No heat in the tyres.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to generate heat in the tyres, so there's a lack of grip. You know, they're trying to get their eye back into the circuit. It's a very technical circuit, so it's easy just to misjudge your braking when you're surrounded by, 33 other guys all trying to do the same thing.
Right, the driver who has gained position, Jack, you'll notice the green flash, the notes of his car is Adrien Lewandowski. He was 6th on the grid. He's got up to 4th. So that was neat and tidy. A couple of cars running a little bit wide at turn 8, but Stefano Lemere making his escape. Paolo Bilieri giving chase. In behind with David Starb, easy to pick up. He's in a luminous yellow car. He looks like he's gaining a position or two round turn 10. Going a bit deep to turn 10, you have to pay the price coming out, but Stefano Lemere is rocketing clear at the moment, so he's done exactly what he would have envisaged. Imagine when he was sitting in his car on the grid.
Yeah, it's quite important. When you're starting at the front of the grid, you've got to visualise what you want to happen, and if you start thinking about it, the chances are you can make it happen. Focus on that temperature, and then just hit all your marks on the first lap or two, and you can start to build a gap if you've got the pace.
Just having a little look down to the Lamborghini Cup class. Should be coming to the background of the shot because we've got a couple of cars nose to tail. Karim Oj's dropped from 5th on the grid down to 8th. He's now car number 7. Look out for him. And he's got Rocky Bolduc coming up behind. Not quite nose to tail, but clean line of sight for the Canadian. Car number 199. See if he can get to the top of the pile in the Lamborghini Cup. A subplot within this race, of course, in a regular Super Trofeo race, we have all 4 classes running together. Pro-Am, Am and Lamborghini Cup. In this, when you get to the World Finals, Am and Lamborghini Cup have their own race. It's easier for us to focus on them and for them to focus on their championship battle.
Yeah, it's quite nice how it's a more focused race on the, the more individual classes, because I feel sometimes, the AM drivers can get a bit swamped by the pros, and when there's, people lapping you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the exact point. It's not just that they might be, qualified well, but they might be 30th on the grid. If they qualify well in this, they're going to be in the first few rows, and they're not going to have those cars coming through. We can focus on them. They can focus on the people. It's always difficult in a full field of cars to just remember who's in your class and just to focus on them if you've got cars from other classes around you. Right, David Starb just in front, being hunted down by Givalu. Car number 266. That's from the Hudson Auto crew. At the moment, the Americans got that one covered. Down the back straight they go. I say a straight, it's got 3 kinks in it before they have to absolutely be on the brakes for turn 14. Leaden skies above Misano. There are little hints of sunshine. They came through about 20 minutes ago, but they seem to have disappeared for now. But importantly, the track is dry. Track temperature, well, it's not yet hit 17 degrees. It will gradually warm up through the day, but the main thing is the rain that was promised a couple of days ago, but suddenly our forecast became a bit gloomy, seems to have disappeared. So, Stefano Lemere, Paolo Bilieri, Massimo Ciglia, and the 3 teams respectively, CMR, ASR, and the Oregon team. And Adrien Lewandowski, having made that move from 6th to 4th, there he is, car number 5, yellow-green, sort of green and blue flashes on his car for GT3 Poland. He's trying to get off after, safety car. Okay. There has been an incident involving a couple of cars at turn 14. Serwin Mazur and Adrien Lewandowski is noted for something, but...
it looks like 138 is well and truly beached deep in the gravel.
Yeah, it's one from DL Racing. It's probably 38, actually. It's Philip Tang. And the other car with the blue flashes, trying to work that one out, but they've had contact getting... that's effectively at turn 13. It's the last of the kinks. That's 38, the one you picked out. Well done for getting that, Jack. But as I said before the race, if there's a safety car, it can change things. But it's come so early in the race, we haven't had a leader who's managed to, pull well clear and loses all the advantage they've gained. The other one is 146, which is a PPM car. Sebastian Carazzo and Gabriel Holin share. That is Gabriel who started the race. And unfortunately for him, That's a rather battered car, but it's be interesting to see what caused that. The safety car has been deployed, so everyone has to drop down and run a line astern. Looking, they would have been a spin from Gabriel Holin, and I've just trying to, well, he kept on spinning, bounced off. Well, that's how so much the car was taken off. And for Philip Tang, nothing he could do about it. You know, it came in with what he hoped was a clear line of sight, but unfortunately for him, the driver from Hong Kong had nowhere to go, nowhere at all. You've got to guess at that point, where is the car going to go? But little unfortunate that when it hit the barriers, that Holin's car came back across the track. That's actually relatively unusual, thank goodness.
Yeah, that was quite a sizable accident. I'm sure he's absolutely fine. But accidents, generally, the inertia will always send it outwards. But in that situation, Philip Tang's just driving on his normal line. He was just really unlucky to get caught at the moment that Gabriel Holin came back across the track. By that point, totally out of control. You know, it's just one of those situations you really you've got to hope that you can kind of thread the needle and get through.
Yeah, well, while the safety car is out, Jack, we're going to go out and join Dakota, who's got Stefano to tell us what he thinks about the start of the race.
I do. Stefan, how was that start? I mean, it was a bit messy just then, but the start seemed to be pretty clean.
Yeah, for us, the car, we gained 2 places, so it's a good start for Piero. Now there is a period of safety car. So for me, the goal will be to take the car and to push as hard as possible, because we have nothing to lose. Yesterday we scored 0 points, 1 point for the pole. So the goal today is to have fun. It's the last race of the season. So I hope Piero will enjoy the end of the stint, and I will push the maximum. Maybe to climb to the podium would be already very nice. Yeah, a bit frustrated from yesterday because I had the drive shaft broke just before the start, and I couldn't start like that, so I preferred to go on the grass to avoid a big crash. But it was really hard for me when you do the pole position for the World Final to park the car on the grass, because you never expect that.
We were all heartbroken from you as well, from earlier in the week to having that foam fall off in your foot. Well, 2 today, bad luck, but let's hope we can turn your luck around today. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Well, that was a very good interview with Stefano Tribudini there. Yeah, he had his problems yesterday, none of which were for his own making, you wouldn't expect. But one thing, let's have a look back at the start. It's actually really clean, Jack. You know, the first 4 positions seem to have nailed down the first 4 places by the time they turned right into and out of turn 1. This is view from the front. Stefan Lemeray getting very away nicely. Waiting for a bit more. Paolo Bilieri second, turned in second place into the first corner. And the car that actually gained a couple of positions is the one with the green and blue flashes on its nose, from 6th into 4th. Very nicely. Not quite 4th there, but Adrien Lewandowski, he guessed the way there was, and there was a little bit of a gap. He thought, well, I'll be coming down there into turn 1. By the time they'd exited turn 3, he's 5th at the moment. He got up to 4th by being on the correct side of the track as they started turning right all over again. And just hearing, well, what's good news from Dakota as well is that Philip Tang, who was clattered by Gabriel Holin's car coming back across the track, is reporting in that he is absolutely fine. Bear in mind, he was coming through the kink at turn 11. He'd got to turn 12, still without line of sight. Safety car is in. That's very good news. That shows how fast they've cleared it up.
He's gone early.
As Stefano Lemeray's gone early, and Paolo Bilieri not doing a bad job of keeping up. You've got to guess when the car in front is going to hammer the throttle down. But it's always quite difficult when you've got a tight final corner as well, because you hammer it down, but then you have to keep your car balanced. Say people behaving very nicely. Often restarts lead to further restarts if you've got a corner, particularly with the first corner as tricky as the one here. But actually, what we're seeing this time, the cars in 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th, they're catching Paolo Bilieri. That's Massimo Ciglia, Adrien Lewandowski, Sergio Mazur, and Dean Knowles, getting as close as they possibly can. Just talking about the Lamborghini Cup class, Karim Oj leading it, but he's only just actually he's got ahead of David Starr, and that puts a car between him and Rocky Bolduc. Now this is the view going down to about the point on the circuit where a lot of people ran wide on the opening. That's turn number 8, infield hairpin. It's actually quite a broad hairpin there, so it's you can be quite generous with where you put the car. Yeah. David Starr just lost 1 place. Rocky Bolduc has just lost another. So we've been riding on board a little bit with 266, which was Jivet Liu in the Hudson Auto Bay LKM Lamborghini, and he managed to pick off Rocky Bolduc. So Rocky, having been immediately behind his Lamborghini class rival, Lamborghini Cup class rival at the restart, has had 2 cars overtake him. So that will be frustrating for the Canadian, but very good news for Karim Ojay. That gives him a buffer. In fact, Karim, the white car just turning into turn 15 is actually about 3 seconds ahead. So that's been a very, very good restart for him.
Yeah, it's quite nice in split class racing when you can have some cars from a different class in between you and your competitors. Psychologically, it just gives you that buffer that, you know, you're a little bit safe. If anything happens, you're not going to be directly attacked by someone you're actually racing for points.
Yeah, now one driver who's really lost out right in the middle of our screens, white with the red flashes, as Hans Motorsport. He started 4th, Antoine Como, finished 4th yesterday, so he got good points in the bag. Very nearly finished where he wanted to be, but fallen to 7th. David Starr running very wide indeed, but just keeping it within the confines of the circuit. Looking to see anybody has gained many places since the start of the race. The answer is no. As yet, I was looking to see the pace of Pier Giacomo Randazzo. He'll be handing over to Stefano Tribudini. We heard from Stefan talking to Kota saying, well, we got the point from pole position for yesterday, but then that was the car that pulled off right at the start of the race. Oh, actually, it looks though a WSR car is just pulling off in the background. No, it isn't. It's just running wide. It's this one here. That is Pier Giacomo Randazzo. Now, he's right on the tail of Rocky Boulder. Sorry, it was just the angle that was being shot at. Don't want to carry on with the commentator's curse of mentioning someone and suddenly a thunderbolt lightning. Stefan Lemeret at the front of the field, 1.4 seconds clear. Remember, of course, one little advantage he had was closed in by the safety car period. It's opened out again, 1.4 seconds clear. In fact, he gained a second on the first lap after the restart. So he not only got a good getaway, but he carried it on. And that's why there's a bit of breathing space between him, the car in the very Belgian colours of red, yellow and black, mimicking the national flag. There's Karim Ojay. Villorba course, a lot of cars here this weekend, but 5th in yesterday's race outright, 5th on the grid today, so he sort of does all the work. And Karim's been racing the Super Trofeo for a long time. He's just very, very much at ease with everything in the paddock, everything the way it works.
Sometimes that's half the battle for these am and gentleman drivers, is a bit of familiarity. Once they, you know, build a good relationship with a team, with the championship, they just like to keep coming back because they have so much fun.
Watch the drama unfold in racing's most intense moments